Walt Disney's American Classics, Brer Rabbit in the Briar Patch. Folks often tell tales of a clever little critter named Brer Rabbit who lived deep in the woodsy part of the South. Also in the woodsy part of the South, there lived Brer Fox and Brer Bear. They all called each other Brer, which is short for brother, and they were forever playing tricks on each other. Now, Brer Rabbit had a habit of being plain old rabbity, always a bouncin' and a prancin' and acting mighty sassy. He'd always been that way, even way back when he was just a little bunny growing up in the Briar Patch. He was rabbity enough to be plain irritating to people. He'd come hopping lippity-clippity down the road, bold as you can please, just like the whole world belonged to him and him alone. One day, Brer Fox and Brer Bear were sitting around as usual with nothing better to do than get themselves into some sort of mischief. As Brer Rabbit came hopping past lippity-clippity, they were talking about how rabbity and sassy he was. Brer Fox said, "Hold it, I've got a mighty fine idea. He. Let's go make us a tar baby. Brer Rabbit'll get stuck on it, and then we can catch him." So Brer Fox and Brer Bear rounded up a mess of tar and patted and rolled and packed it down into a kind of baby shape. They dressed the tar baby in an old hat and a coat. Then they sat it down near the road like it was restin' and just waited around whistling and humming, biding their time till Brer Rabbit would come lippity-clippity down the road. Now Brer Fox and Brer Bear knew how prideful Brer Rabbit was. He hated folks who didn't return a greeting. And sure enough, that Brer Rabbit came by and stopped right in front of the tar baby. "Howdy," said Brer Rabbit to the tar baby. "I say howdy do." The tar baby was quiet as a stone. Brer Rabbit said, "What's the matter with you?" "I said howdy do. Can't you hear me? If you can't, I can holler louder." So he hollered louder, "Howdy do," but the tar baby went right on sitting, quiet as a stone. Brer Rabbit grew mighty mad and said, "If you don't say howdy do by the time I count 3, I'm gonna hit you." Brer Fox and Brer Bear just about busted with laughing as Brer Rabbit counted 1, 2, 3, and he let his fist fly right into that tar baby's sticky head. Brer Rabbit's first fist stuck in the tar, and he got even madder. "Let go of my hand," he said, and hit the tar baby with his other fist. That stuck too. He hollered and struggled and still couldn't pull his fist loose. Brer Rabbit said, "Let go of my fist or I'll kick you all the way from here to Timbuktu." Sure enough, Brer Rabbit stuck his foot into that old tar baby right up to the kneecap, and then he kicked with his other foot. Now with both hands and feet stuck in that tar baby, Brer Rabbit was in a jam for sure. Brer Fox and Brer Bear came out of the bushes a-giggling and chuckling for all they were worth. Brer Rabbit was so mad he couldn't think straight. "Listen here, whoever y'all are, if you don't let go, I'm gonna butt you with my head." Splat! He butted the tar baby so that his head was stuck fast too. Pretty soon he was stuck all over. "Howdy do, Brer Rabbit," said Brer Fox. "My, oh my, you are in a terrible bind," said Brer Bear. Well, now it was surely true that Brer Rabbit was as stuck as a rabbity rabbit could be. "Brer Rabbit," said Brer Fox, "it's not good to be so rabbity. See what kind of mess you got stuck in? Now Brer Bear and I are going to have to eat rabbit stew for dinner." Seeing how he was even more stuck than he had figured, Brer Rabbit sure quieted down then. While Brer Fox gathered kindling wood for the fire, Brer Bear said, "Before we make rabbit stew, I want to knock Brer Rabbit's block off." And sure enough, Brer Bear came up with a real scary hunk of wood, big enough to knock any block off. "Wait a little minute," said Brer Fox with a wicked grin. "If we're gonna eat him, we ought to hang him first." Now Brer Rabbit got an idea of how he could get free. This made him feel a whole heap better, but he kept acting scared. That was part of his plan. Sure enough, knock my block clean off and hang me as high as the sky. Hang me from a million trees, but never, oh never throw me in that briar patch, said Brer Rabbit, the sweat just a-pouring down his face. "Hey, maybe we ought to skin Brer Rabbit," said Brer Fox with the meanest grin you ever did see. Brer Rabbit just whooped and hollered, fit be tied if anybody was ever fit to be tied. "Knock off my block, hang me, skin me up, and skin me down. But please, please, please don't you ever throw me into that briar patch." "Sounds like he's mighty afraid of that stickery old briar patch," said Bear, still wanting to knock Brer Rabbit's block off. Brer Fox gave a nasty giggle. "Maybe we ought to just stick this miserable old rabbit right smack dab in that briar patch. He. "No, no, do anything, but please don't throw me into that terrible old briar patch," yelled Brer Rabbit for all he was worth. But Brer Bear and Brer Fox went right ahead and threw that poor old rabbit right into the biggest, meanest, nastiest mess of brambles you ever did see. Brer Rabbit shouted, "Ow! Ooh! Ah! Ooh! Ugh!" Then his shouts just got weaker and weaker. Pretty soon he wasn't shouting at all, and it was silent in the briar patch. Brer Fox and Brer Bear laughed because they figured they'd taken care of that pesky old Brer Rabbit for good. Then they heard, "How-do, Brer Fox and Brer Bear?" It was Brer Rabbit at the end of the briar patch. The tar had been pulled clean off by the brambles, and it lay in a sticky heap deep in the briar patch. He said, "I told you not to throw me in the briar patch. I was trying to help you, but no siree, you wouldn't listen, and I fooled you, 'cause that's the one place y'all never get me. That's where I was born." The end.